Hello, today we're gonna present our final presentation. This is by group number 2 about sentiment analysis for social data mining techniques class. This is our agenda. It consists of introduction, team profile, tools, workflow, data source, app details and reviews, get details codes, image recognition, custom vision, sentiment analysis, Mongo database tables, and Power BI dashboard. This project help us to give more details about reviews related to Harry Potter's movies using sentiment analysis on the reviews and image classification. In this project we did the following steps: data acquisition, storing the data, sentiment analysis, image recognition, and Power BI dashboard. This is our team profile. Consists of Manan, Ganan, Aya, and Rosie. This is our tools which we used in our project. First, we used custom vision to customize your own state-of-the-art computer vision models for a specific domain with custom vision part of Azure Cognitive Server, and also using Python, which is a programming language, and it can help a programmer with a clear logical code for a small and large scale projects. And also we used HTML, which stands for hypertext markup language and this used for document design assigned to be displayed in a web browser, and it can be assessed by technologies such as a scripting language such as a JavaScript. And for storing data, we're using a Mongo database. Is a source of available cross-platform document database program, and this is used like a JSON. For sentiment analysis, we use the Vader sentiment, which stands for Valence Aware Dictionary and Intimate Resources. Is a lexicon and rule-based sentiment analysis tool. This is specifically attended to sentiment expressed in social media. And for visualization, we're using Power BI, which is gathering data and turning your unrelated data to a visually impressive and interactive insight. For our workflow, first we find the data source using Steam API to gather data, and then fetch data from API and sentiment analysis. Image classification model used custom vision for training image classification model. And we're using a Mongo database for data storage. And finally, we did data creation using Power BI to create a data dashboard.
Hello Professor. Now my name is Manan Chaudhary, and now I'll be presenting a short demo of our code, and I'll explain the scraping code, and later the sentiment code will be explained by one of my teammates. So I have scraped the data and I've just run the code, so I'll just show you the site first. This is the Harry Potter site. So here we have all the reviews, different reviews from different people. So we have extracted all these reviews from all the 8 Harry Potter books. Now I'll go back to the code. So we have used Beautiful Soup, and we have created a MongoDB connection first so that we can store our data. So MongoDB connection is same using the PyMongo and Mongo client, and then we create a Mongo client object using the database name, and then using the collection name HP data. We delete many because we run the code multiple times, so that we don't want duplication. So that's why we delete many. Now we have URL list. So what is this? These are the 8 different URL list of all the 8 different books, because all they were on IBDM, and now we run this because they have the same containers. We run this differently and extract from each page. So we run this URL list in a for loop, and that for loop takes the address and gets a URL or the whole code, source code from the page. Now we create a Beautiful Soup object using the page that we requested and using a suitable parser. Next we get the results, the main class, from the main class that contains our reviews. So as you can see in the code, this class that had listed item content is being used there, so to extract the reviews. Similarly, we have also extracted header. This is the header container for the movie name, so we have extracted movie name from it, and also movie year from that using this class container. So these are all specific containers that we took direct from our inspections, and the movie image is also extracted in the same way. Mainly we are extracting the URL that we will be using in our Power BI presentation later. So we have just printed these data that we have extracted. So here you can see that we have extracted the name of the each book, the year, the URL, and each line here represents a different review from different persons. So since reviews were like, some had spoilers, so they were contained in a different container. So we put a for loop again, and which didn't have any data, like the first container didn't have any data. Then we moved on to a second container and searched that. So that is how we were able to search for hidden contents that had spoilers, because as you can see, the spoilers were hidden here. So this we have to extract separately. Next we moved on. So like these are the 4 main data model columns we used. So we created temporary variables, stored in them, and we appended in a dummy list so that we can create a CSV, and even for storing it onto MongoDB. And here you can see we created a record using the insert one function. We inserted it into our MongoDB, and here it is in our MongoDB. Also now the code for sentiment analysis will be explained by Gagan. I'll just show you the sentiment analysis output. So we performed and got all the negative, neutral, positive sentiments and made a compound sentiment, so that to get, so this is what we performed on each review, and then we combined the review later in a dashboard, so that visualization we will be presenting. This also similarly we stored into a CSV and also in our MongoDB. This is the CSV we are just showing. So here is also the words. So we extracted all the main words from it so that we can perform a significant review and not being bundled by the waste words, or you can say the words that don't have meaning, so that we can create a proper bubble cloud, as you can see later. Now I'll hand on to the next email. Thank you.
To continue with, I'll begin with the sentiment analysis part. So for sentiment analysis, we have used the sentiment intensity analyzer library as well as the Vader score. Now sentimental analysis is a text analysis method which is used to detect the polarity within the text, or whether a whole document or a clause or a paragraph. And Vader score is also used for text analysis, and basically it is sensitive to both polarities like positive and negative, and it can also give us the intensity of emotions. Now the Vader is available with the NLTK library, and it can give us, for example, there are some words like love, enjoy, happy, like. These all words convey a positive sentiment. Also, Vader is intelligent enough to understand the basic context of these words, such as if I say did not like, now this is a statement which conveys a negative emotion, so Vader understands that. Then in the code you can see that we have created an empty list. Then we are running a for loop on the data frame review. Now this review is the data which we have scraped from the website, and we are performing analysis on the review column. Then we are passing this row and storing it in the Vader score variable. Then we are appending this Vader score at the end of the sentimental list. Then we have created a data frame using pandas, so PD here, and storing it into sentimental data frame, and then we are printing out this sentimental data frame using the head function. Then we are using the pandas concat, and we are using the reset index. Now what reset index does is it is used to reset the index of the data frame object to default indexing, or it is used to reset multi-level indexing. So by doing so, our original index of the data frame gets converted to a column. Now then we are printing out the data frame, and only 5 elements. As you can see, there is 5 flip passed in place of an argument. So now after that we have used the lambda function, and we are passing a statement here. So if our radar score comes out to be greater than 0.02, this will give us a positive return, and if it is less than 0.02, it will give us a negative return, and if it is equal to, then it will give us neutral. Then we are using this review column, and we are separating the strings using a space, using split function, and in split function we have passed a space. Now what it will do, it will separate out all these strings and give us individual words. Then we're printing out the analysis word and printing the complete data frame. So the demo part will be shown by my teammate Manan. Thank you.
Perfect. So to continue with our dashboards, this is what we made on Power BI. And it looks a little bit blurry on PowerPoint, so I will go and show it to you on Power BI. This is what it looks like, a little bit nicer than on PowerPoint. We have the movie poster, the release year, word cloud, sentiment analysis based on 25 reviews for all of them. So some of them had more than others, and so we just decided to keep the same for all of them, and we thought 25 was a good amount to get a good read on the sentiment towards these movies. Then you have the average compound score, and then the sentiment. So this is the first movie, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. Then we have Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. You can see that everything changes. Generally, the sentiment for all of these movies was positive, so you won't see a negative sentiment. The compound score varies quite a bit, but everything else kind of stays the same in terms of the word cloud for all of them. It mentions a lot of characters, so it mentions, like Dobby, the name of the school, which will be Hogwarts, and so it's a little bit difficult to get a read on the word cloud itself because the reviews mainly just talk about the characters themselves and the plot of the movie, and not necessarily what their sentiment towards it is. But we're going to continue with the rest of them. And then the next one will be Prisoner of Azkaban. Here we go. This one, compound score of 0.76. Pretty average for these movies. Came out in 2004. And the next one is, I believe, Goblet of Fire. This one a little bit lower, 0.56. Again, but generally a positive sentiment with these. And we'll move on. Then after that was Order of Phoenix, 2007, 0.69. Then this one, you can see that as we go on, maybe I know this because I've watched the movies. It gets a little bit darker in terms of the wording that's used. They talk a lot more about the characters who are evil, I guess, in these, and so the movies get a bit more darker as they go on. They get a bit more serious. So I guess the wording, from what I can see from someone who knows Harry Potter, it does get a bit more serious, I guess. Then we have the Half-Blood Prince, 0.73. Generally, again, positive. Came out in 2009. And then I believe we move on to the Deathly Hallows Part 1. 2010, 0.61, and then move on to Deathly Hallows Part 2, 2011, a little bit of a higher compound score for the last Harry Potter movie. And so, generally, to conclude, the highest one would be the first one, actually, which is quite surprising, but I think it's the one that people have probably seen the most. It has a compound score of 0.88, and the worst rating one would be the Goblet of Fire, which has a 0.56 review, which kind of sucks. This was my favorite, but That would be the end of our presentation. I hope that you have a great rest of your semester, and wish you the best. Thank you.